All right, guys, I just want to share a quick video with you. Try to keep it simple. Specifically, it's about fuel pressure here. And it's literally the most important thing other than actual AFR that you could probably log on your vehicle that really tells a story. I think on any turbo vehicle, you should be logging fuel pressure. I don't care what it is. Plain and simple. If you're tuning a car, log fuel pressure. Done. Like I'd say every 8 out of 10 cars that I tune have a fuel pressure issue. It's just how it goes. People don't understand the importance of all these little things about how to install a fuel system correctly. Or it's like things are left unknown about the fuel system, and then they start leaning on it, and it's like, it's not the way that works. So here's a customer's car I started tuning. Green line is TPS. We had this car set at wastegate, made some pretty clean pulls, nothing. I kind of picked up on a fuel pressure instability thing, and I'm like, hey, you know, maybe it could be the sensor. We do use the $18 to $20 cheap sensors. I'm like, all right, if it drops 3-4 psi, I'm not going to really sweat it, but let's turn it up a little bit more and let's see what happens. So again, green line TPS, and here is, let me bring up boost. That's where boost comes. Here's your boost line. We're at 33, 34, 35 psi of boost. And let me bring up the target table. Here we go. Oh, that's wideband. Here is my AFR target table. So that's kind of what I'm shooting for. That is for my AFR in open loop. What it's shooting for. And you'll notice when I highlight actual AFR, it does a pretty good job of following it. Looks like it needs a little tip in work or something on the VE table here. Little lean spot here. Don't know what that's about, but that's not what this whole thing's about here. Here's my issue. 31, 32, 35 psi boost starts going lean. 12.0, 12.3, 12.5, 12.8, 13.0. And that's why I request these logs. I'm like, hey, give me a log like 2,000 to 5,000, 2,000 to 6,000. We slowly go up in stages. And people criticize, like, why don't you have timing in the car, blah, 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 blah. And it's like, well, I'm pulling a bunch of timing. I mean, we're looking at, 35 pounds of boost. I'm at 7 degrees of timing. It's like, why am I going to throw timing in a car when I'm still dialing in AFRs? People just like to just go full send right out of the gate, and I think it's ridiculous. But anywho, this is kind of an issue. You can see how I've already been tuning it, and I was like, all right, let's turn it up. Bam, started going lean. And cool thing about the fuel pressure in ECM Link is, sure, you can highlight your linear fuel pressure. You see it go up with boost, and all of a sudden it starts dropping below the boost line, and it's starting to struggle, and it kind of starts quitting up here. When you start seeing it go down, that's an issue. This was already an issue in itself. And I said, all right, let's turn up a little bit more and see what happens. And then this kind of discovered itself. So I was like, all right, there's definitely something going on. You could do the math, 0 PSI, you're at linear fuel pressure of, 44 PSI. You could do 44 plus, 35. You could do the math and say, all right, well, I should be at this fuel pressure, not, and obviously 60 is not that number. But instead of doing the math and wasting your time doing that, ECM Link does a pretty good job already doing the math for you. If you highlight base fuel pressure, it'll actually hold the base fuel pressure for you. And this line should be straight across in this log, and clearly it's not. So, it's falling, it's going down, and then it really quits right here. This is when things really get out of control. But yeah, this is a clear indication of a fuel pressure issue. I mean, it already was kind of showing itself. It just really showed itself now. I can't remember what's in this car. I believe there's probably a 2150 Walbro 450 setup. Yeah, there's 2150s, probably has a Walbro 450 in it, probably maxing the pump out. But anywho, that's like the whole thing about fuel pressure with me, man. Like, you guys have to log fuel pressure. I don't care what you have, log it. Make an input available. Do something. Maybe swap between simulating. Your 1G guys can swap in between simulating and logging fuel pressure. Just kind of go back and forth with like a spade connector or whatnot. It's just, I'm not a simulation guy, but it's a good tool to have in there. It's like, something's going on. Let me just swap this pin over. Done. Get your answer. It's a lot of guys, what they'll do is, without logging fuel pressure, what they'll do, right, is they'll say, well, let's go over here to AFR. Let's do this. What they'll do is they'll see this, right? They'll say, oh, all right, well, it's going a little lean right here. No problem. No idea what fuel pressure is. They'll come over here, go to the VE table, and then they'll just start adding fuel. And then these numbers just end up ridiculous, and you end up with a high IDC. And that's another thing that aggravates me. Guys will do that. They'll sure, it'll work. It's not going to be it's not the right way. But there's guys out there that'll be like, oh, E85, 850cc injectors. 700 horsepower all day, bro. And it's like, dude, shut the fuck up. Like, show me the log you log in fuel pressure. Like, stop making recommendations if you don't know what the hell you're talking about. And it happens a lot, and I correct a lot of people, and I'm a dickhead about it too, because it's like, it's annoying at this point. But I just want to stress again, fuel pressure issue. This is like round, I don't even know, probably over 200. Happens all the time. Fucking order the sensor, install it in your car. Stop being a cheap fuck. Later.